Now, economic expert Rodney Shakespeare joins us live on Skype from London. Rodney, thank you very much for joining the bulletin. How crucial will the next 48 hours be, in your opinion, on whether we'll see a lasting ceasefire in Ukraine?
The next 48 hours, the next 48 days. The Western media has been lying their heads off about Ukraine. Angela Merkel, when she went to Minsk, had a piece of paper from the German intelligence agency, which said that their estimate of dead was around 50,000 people. That's to say you then get 250,000 people severely wounded, and it's known that 1 million are displaced. So first of all, the scale of the thing has been deliberately underplayed by the Western media. Secondly, the scale of that killing is easily exemplified by the one town or city mentioned in your report, Debaltseve. In Debaltseve, there are 68,000 or 70,000, somewhere around there, West Ukrainian troops who are surrounded with only a tiny track out. And the whole thing there is, that particular part is the most explosive situation. On top of that, in the agreement, what an agreement, it's just only a sort of temporary ceasefire. In clause 11, it says that there should be constitutional reform, which is what this is all about. It's about preserving the eastern Ukrainian from being massacred and destroyed. And Poroshenko has already said there will be no constitutional reform. So there you are, your words, your introduction, Chancellor Merkel, the situation is fragile.
Now, it is a sense of deja vu regarding the Ukrainian situation, Rodney. Only a couple of months ago, a ceasefire was agreed, and a day later it was broken. Now, why can't both sides adhere to the ceasefire?
Well, if you look at the history of the thing, the East, there was an overthrow of a democratic government by the Ukrainians and the Americans. That's West Ukraine. But the key to it is that the Eastern Ukrainians were threatened with slaughter. All the build-up was, we're going to wipe out your language, and there were threats to their physical and bodily existence. That's why you have 1 million displaced persons. Now, you can't ignore that. And Russia actually wants East Ukraine to remain within Ukraine, but under protection. But nothing at the moment is actually going to achieve that protection. Pulling back the artillery may be one thing, but the agreement actually allows West Ukraine to control the border between East Ukraine and Russia. The Eastern Ukrainians are totally and feel it's utterly insecure, and they do not, apart from some relief from the shelling, they do not feel that they are secure for the future. The whole thing is a terrible mess, and it's not going to get better.
Well,
sorry.
I mean, Rodney, if that's the case, I mean, why have the OSCE members been denied access to the contested town of Debaltseve by the pro-Russian separatists then?
Well, what the situation there is that these are the Ukrainian forces, 68,000 of them, and they are refusing, they're completely surrounded, and they are refusing to give up their arms. It's rather like the situation with Berlin after the Second World War. A great city is surrounded, and if they remain there, they are a colossal threat to the not just the livelihood, but the safety, the bodily safety of all those in Ukraine. They should give up their weapons and then just withdraw behind the truce lines, the lines where there is no heavy weapons. That would make sense. But this particular area was not mentioned in the agreement, and it should have been. It should have been, give up your arms, pull back to the lines which have also been agreed. But why wasn't it mentioned? The biggest thing of all, outrage. It should have been mentioned. It should have been dealt with in the agreement. But Poroshenko is, of course, refusing. He knew that that's where he can do his onslaught again, right the way through into Donetsk and Luhansk.
We'll just have to leave it there. Political and economic expert Rodney Shakespeare, thank you very much for your time.